Hey, what's up? Welcome to Podcast Hell. Before we get started, we're going to do a new thing. Last week I did some shout-outs. People seem to like that. So if you want a shout-out on my show, if you leave me a YouTube comment for the first time starting right now, I'm going to read it at the front of the show the following week. Same goes on Apple Podcasts. 2 chances to get a shout-out on my show. Let's do the shout-outs from YouTube this week. Can We Share a Kiss Will Haunt My Ears, Meredith Hackman. Thank you. Funny name, Eric. That's from Eric Swenson 979. Spells his name just like me. Cool dude. We got LOL, the mac and cheese was good. Classic Jacob family inside baseball from Waiting in the Wings. Thank you for following. Delicious Fisher. I will watch the shoulders. That's a former guest reaching out. High school was fun? Question mark from the pro_SP. Funny stuff, Eric. That's from Moago to Buffalo 7934. Nice username, bro. Appreciate it. And then I've got in caps, I know what it's gonna be paint meant. That's from J Welk 89. All right, those are the shout outs. Leave me something, Apple Podcasts, right here on YouTube. Let's start the show.
Girl, we're about to go somewhere out now. Times to rise and elevation starts to drop down. Our little secret, don't kiss and tell, you're so bad. I'll probably see you in hell. Welcome to hell, baby. This is Podcast Hell.
So, elephant in the room,
Well,
we wore the same color shirt and pants. That's a fuck up.
but it's not even the same. The shirt's not even the same color. It's the same brand.
It's a Goodfellow
It's the same $6 shirt
from Target. Did you get it from the Target on North Hollywood?
I got it from
on Victory.
I buy. That's the first thing I buy when I go into any Target. I go straight to the $6 shirt rack and or the table. It's always on the table.
Just load
and
up.
I just load 3 or 4.
I mean, they're good shirts.
Yeah.
And it's okay that you burn through them in a couple months.
Right.
I mean, this is obviously humiliating.
I know.
And it was very fixable. You brought a second shirt. Every shirt I own is in this house. And I was like, no, we have to. Yeah. The people should know.
Yeah.
That
And I don't even wear this shirt that often. I have about 12 same brand gray shirts. That's my go-to. It's like Superman. I have like 12, 13, 15 of them. That's the one I have. I probably have a couple in the car.
Okay.
I don't even wear this one that much, but today it was like, I think he's got black walls. Some reason I thought you had black walls.
I told you I have black walls. The paint, which has now been referenced 3 episodes in a row, is sitting right there.
Yeah.
I gotta hire someone from.
Well, it's in the intro email. Hey, my walls are black. Wear something light. So I'm like, oh, this is light. This is lightish. So I dug this out of the bottom of the drawer.
Yeah.
This.
And look what it got you. Do you want a water, by the way?
Yeah. Let's do the hospitality.
All right. Well, carry they're over there, so you got to carry the podcast for like 15 seconds.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for go
carry
get that. Yeah. I didn't get offered a water or a bathroom. Although I've stayed in this house, so I just let myself into the bathroom.
You did get offered a water
at the beginning.
No, right now.
Right, but usually it would happen before the taping start. That's like typical, you know. I take your shoes off. Oh, can I get you something to drink? Welcome to my house.
I didn't say take your shoes off, though.
Yeah, but you could tell that it's a shoes off house.
Yeah, but there's a feeling when someone goes shoes off where you just go.
Do people not take their shoes off?
I give people a chance to realize for themselves that they should take their shoes off.
Yeah.
And then if they don't, I go, take your fucking shoes off.
Yeah.
Or what I'll go is, would you mind taking your shoes off?
Yeah.
But I always give them, I don't like saying it.
Why?
Because it just, I don't know. I just feel like I sound like a old maid.
Yeah, you feel
Could you take your shoes off, please, and wash your hands? It's dirty out there.
Right.
Like, I just don't like the feeling I get when I say it.
It's because you have an image of what that person is. You very much are that person, but you just don't want to be that. You don't want to admit.
No, it's like every time I'm sad and my wife is like, "What's wrong?" I don't want to be like, it's not a good mental health day. Like, that's what I should say. Yeah. But I don't want to sound like every other fucking turd. So I just go, oh yeah, I'm fine. What I've actually done is I've made a playlist on my Spotify for relaxing songs.
Okay.
And so I sit back in, because usually after work I'm in this chair. I just sit back in this chair and I listen to Fix You by Coldplay with my eyes closed.
Okay.
And sometimes I do cry. Like at the part where he goes, tears stream. Like I'll let one go.
Yeah.
And then I'll wipe it away.
By yourself, but Liz doesn't even know.
No.
She doesn't even know about the playlist.
She knows about the playlist. She doesn't know that I sit here and silently cry sometimes to it.
I'm happy to know that because there's so many. I live with my girlfriend now for like 2 months.
Yeah.
And there's some times where stuff like that is being exposed, and I feel so naked, and then I feel ashamed that I feel ashamed.
It's a shame you don't feel afraid, because then you would be naked and afraid.
Okay.
And that would be...
All right. And that brings us to our first commercial break.
It's okay if you didn't. Did you listen to the episode where like there were 4 of us on here? No. We talked about crime.
It's okay if you didn't. You know I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you did. Maybe you're a deep cut fan of Podcast Hell.
No.
We talked about crying for like 30 minutes.
Crying in front of other people, or just
everything? Crying by yourself, crying in front of other people, how you process your emotions.
Yeah.
It's I mean, look, we live in a time now that's funny because like to a lot of people, I think, in LA, people would think that I'm like not in touch with my emotions.
Right.
If I go back east,
I think it's the Eagles hats that are like welded to your head.
That, or like the fact that I like can tell a joke with a punchline that doesn't say who I voted for.
Right.
There's a lot of things. Right. But then if I go back east, where my friends are like cops and firefighters and shit, like they're like, dude, you talk about your feelings a lot. And then if I traveled back in time to the 50s, they would kill me for being gay.
Right.
Like so like just depending on where you are in time and state, that determines how you feel about your emotional state. But I feel like I talk a healthy amount about. I feel like I'm cool with crying and all that stuff.
Is that increased since you've come to LA?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, you're from Texas.
Yes.
Should I introduce you?
Yeah, that'd be great.
This is Ross Copeland. He's a very funny comic.
Can I get a water? Can I get like a...
You got your water.
I did get the appropriate amount of
As I'm getting you a water. I didn't get a water when I came in. Takes a lot of balls. You're from Texas.
Yeah.
Yes, and you get some of that tough Texas love.
Yeah.
Every time you cried, they were like, go wrangle the cattle.
Yeah, well, there's definitely like toughness there.
Yeah.
Hyper masculinity, and there's like growing up, there's like this desire to be, verbal about my emotions, but not really a whole lot of outlets to do that. And then you start doing I acted and stuff too, and starting in like middle school, high school, I did some plays in college, and then started stand up, and that's when you're like, oh, I get 5 minutes a week to talk. So I don't think, and then of course now I live in LA, which according to my conservative friends and family back in Texas, that's all LA is just talking about your feelings and whining about it.
Yeah. And
so I don't think LA has brought it out more in me. I think it's just like I came here because it's not LA that brings it out. It's just it's the comedy community and the performing community. It's like, that's where your shit comes from.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we don't gotta pat ourselves in the back too much, but like, we're artists and we're digging into our stuff to find comedy.
Yeah.
So that's part of it, but like, you can also just go too far with it, where it's like, shut the fuck up. Yeah. Like, there are definitely times where I hear myself talking about my feelings for too long, and I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, I always do the thing that's probably not helpful, according to the therapist I was seeing at one point, where I shouldn't just think of like kids getting buried alive in like fucking ancient ceremonies and being like, well, that used to happen, so who am I to be upset about my dad?
Wait, she told you not to do that?
She told me to not. Well, she said it's not helpful to always just think of the worst things that happen to other people throughout history as a way to like
suppress your own
just
shit.
be not suppress, but just be like, it's not that bad.
Yeah, okay.
And the truth is like, it isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Like the reason we are so in our heads is because there is nothing chasing us trying to eat us.
Right.
There used to be things that tried to eat us.
Right.
And if you were the one that was like, my dad doesn't thank me for the stone pillar I built, then a jaguar would just jump out from a bush and slit your fucking throat with his claw. And now you don't have to worry about your dad anymore because you're being eaten alive and you're feeling the hot breath of a jaguar as it tears your flesh away.
Right.
So there's like, in a way, it's a luxury to have to suffer emotionally the way we do today. I don't think people used to really get to focus on stuff like that.
I think
it's a harsher world.
No, I think like as comedians, and there's a lot of different performers that use this, but like we're comedians, so we'll talk about like, we use the stage to, explore our emotions and feelings of what's going on deep in our head. I think if there weren't any television or stages, we wouldn't know that to indulge in that. We might indulge in it a little bit around a campfire or on a walk with a friend as we're going to the well or to the jaguar ceremony. But we wouldn't. It'd be like it'd be a little bit here, a little bit there. We wouldn't even notice.
When you're dying.
Yeah, when you're dying,
you're definitely
you're impaled by your rival tribe's thing, and you're like, oh, I should have told you the thing.
Yeah.
But because we have television and movies and so many avenues to express ourselves and to indulge in that feeling, like we just like, it's like candy. We just like, I'm going to tell you now what I feel. I just told my friend an hour ago, and now I'm on a different friend an hour later, and now I'm on this and that. And
we also have like a tendency to binge.
That's what I'm saying. Like the binge of the verbal.
Yes.
Getting it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's also like, my wife was reading an article. I didn't read it. This is how I read now. My wife mentions that she read something. But she was saying how like there's an abuse in people using therapy language where you'll tell your wife to like, shut the fuck up and make you a sandwich and be like, that's my boundary. My boundary is that I need sandwiches made for me. Like it's just people acting like complete assholes, but they've heard enough of their friends that go to therapy to try to talk their way into it being like a self-care thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like that is what it's
sandwiches are my love language.
It's only going to be more of that as robots take over because we literally won't have anything to do.
Right.
Like our job, like this job with this, what we're doing, will be like one of the last jobs. And it'll be taken by robots as well. The only thing robots really can't do is like air conditioning repair.
What?
Because they get your fingers in.
What about baby robots?
It's harder.
Baby robot hands.
It's harder. Like the small manipulation of space is tougher for robot.
Okay.
For AI technology. So like all those like stuff you would go to a trade school for, like a carpenter, like Jesse in Breaking Bad, where he's like having the fantasy of like doing the wood. You know what I'm talking about? This reference sucks.
I don't remember that.
If you're like a carpenter, and you just constantly like getting your wood like to the right feel.
Okay.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Robots can't do that shit.
Huh.
Custom.
That's surprising to me.
Jerking off a micro penis is something a robot would like crush it with its little like Terminator fingers, but only a human hand knows the delicate care.
True. I think sex work is a very entry level robot position.
You sound like you're speaking from experience.
I think robots are already doing sex work.
They are. They're looking better, too.
Yeah.
Every time I check one out, I'm like, we're getting close.
I know.
A little bit closer.
I know.
Yeah.
I saw that movie, Her, and it was like, I think it was supposed to be a warning tale, like a cautionary tale. But to me, it just sounded, I was like, well, when I thought it was just one long commercial for the thing that I.
At the end, it's not a commercial for it. It's fucking sad as shit.
I
where
know,
he
but
realizes she's talking to everybody.
I know, but it looked pretty. The whole time I was like, I don't really. This seems pretty good.
Well, that fucking sex scene. You know, where it's like where she's talking to him, and it's Scarlett Johansson whispering in your ear while you. That was pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's. I get it.
I thought it was I thought you'd throw in a fleshlight and I'll buy it.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. So I think that.
But I don't think it's meant to be like hey, this is going to be awesome when it happens.
I know that's not what it was meant to be, but that's what I felt like it was. Like most of the movie, I thought pretty cool.
I feel like that's a little incel-y, Ross. I'm not trying to insult you, but what the fuck?
I'm just saying I don't think.
Hey, this Proud Boys, man, they're onto something.
I don't think robot sex work.
Fucking falling in love with a robot woman.
I don't think robot sex work is the worst thing. I don't think
it's the worst thing either, but I think like it's different to be like you date it.
Yeah.
Like it now becomes your partner. Yeah. And then like I don't know, like that's what the new like the old racism was like. This is like a bit that a million comics I'm sure have done, but like the old racism was like you don't date out of your race or whatever. The new racism in 20 years will be like my daughter brings home a fucking robot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you get that fucking bolt neck out of my house. Like it'll be that
bolt. That's going to be a
bolt neck.
20 years from now, you're going to have to.
I'm going to have to answer for that.
You're going to have to apologize. I said bolt neck.
Here comes Gordon. Liz let him in, but because she didn't say anything, it seemed like he just opened the door himself.
Yes, that's true.
Gordon, don't touch the fucking thing. Hang out here.
I think one of the things I got from the movie and just from
do we say her? We said what movie we're talking about. Yeah.
With Phoenix. No.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix.
Scarlett Johansson.
One thing I get from all that stuff and AI and computers like talking to them and you can't tell if they're human or not is the fact that like we're not that complicated. Like we're pretty easy to hack.
Yes.
Our brains and
yes.
that doesn't really scare me that much because I think I find comfort knowing that like we're pretty easy to figure out. And
we're not going to be hard to replace. We think we're these like intricate, unique things, these organisms, and we have feelings, and we have an identity, and there's a sense of self that we have.
I'm extraordinarily unique. Yeah.
And it's like in reality, it's like we need to eat.
Yeah,
we need to sleep.
But here's why I feel comfort in that. My girlfriend and I are currently in therapy, and so there's a lot of talk about what
you being gay,
me trying to come out of the closet.
it's a tough.
If
tough moment.
Like, how far do I come out? Am I going to be ostracized? Do I have to move? Do I have to move out? I just moved in. Yeah. But it's like there's a lot of talk, obviously, about what she can do to help me, feel, or what I can do to help make her feel seen and loved and appreciated. So a lot of that kind of stuff. And so through this process, you learn like, we're not that complicated of creatures. It doesn't take a lot, a butt squeeze and a compliment on my appearance and a compliment on how well I articulated something.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good to go.
You like a butt squeeze?
I like a butt squeeze.
You like her squeezing your butt?
I like her squeezing my butt as she walks past me in the kitchen, So just a couple little things, and I've like
you know what it is. It's your love language.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's not that complicated, and millions of dudes are exactly the same way. Yeah, and it's fine.
By the way, every dude's love language is physical touch. Every single dude's like, touch me.
Right.
And women are like, on the odd numbered weeks, can I wake up to a mural with a Bob Ross lookalike painting me as I slept? Yeah. And I'm like, lay on top of me like a dead lion while we're watching TV.
But they're not that complicated either. Saturday night, and I'm embarrassed to say this, I don't do this very often because it's extraordinarily simple. I found a restaurant that she had sent me several restaurants that she wanted to go to, like texts and stuff. I like this place. I like this place. So I went back through the text messages over the last few weeks. I found one that she'd sent me. I looked it up. I made a reservation, and I took her.
You would have, yeah.
I was like the hero of the week.
Yeah.
She thought it was amazing. It's not that complicated.
It's really not. So a couple weeks ago, I was having a rough day at work, and Liz came in and had a sandwich, and she had like toasted it, made it exactly the way I liked it. She had some like healthy snacks on the side of it. She just put it down here, and like I was this close to just wiping the table off and just making love right here, like that. I had to fight.
Because she made it for you.
Yeah, it was just like the greatest feeling. Like, yeah, it's simple. It's simple little things. Like that's everything I've talked about in therapy. We only went to a relationship therapist for like 2 sessions, but it was like, it's like basic communication. I am feeling this way. Like a lot of it's like my dad called. I'm sad. When my dad calls, I get weird. I am sorry. I am feeling sad.
You need a butt squeeze. You need a peanut. What did she make? What was that? A peanut butter? What?
She made me a turkey and cheddar.
Yeah.
And we have some like she did a little bit of carrots on the side. It was great. You're
still thinking about it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, it means a lot.
Yeah, a robot could do that for you, and you wouldn't. It'd be fine.
Yeah, but it's not a person. It's not a person. It's a fucking 0101. It's not real.
The feeling's the same. It's the same feeling.
No, it's not.
No.
No.
Have you ever done
to be understood by a person is different to be understood by an algorithm. To be understood by a created technology.
Have you ever done like opiates?
A little, like, not really.
Yeah.
Like, by accident, I did opium.
You did? You did opium?
Yeah.
I was expecting, like, Percocet.
The first time I ever...
All right, fine. I was in an opium den and...
No, I was in Cocoa Beach. Okay. I'd never smoked weed before, and I thought there was some guys smoking weed, but it was opium. And I didn't ask until after I took a hit. And then the whole night I was like... Step inside this nightmare. Like, I was just fucking losing my shit.
Yeah.
I would have been like 18.
Okay.
It was fucking wild.
You didn't like it?
No.
Oh God, really?
Going like 0 to 100.
Okay. I mean, you probably not knowing's the worst part. That's the
not
part
knowing.
Like
like I was already like nervous about smoking weed, and like I'd already waited too long to try it. Yeah. I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to do it. I was like, and I did it impulsively, which is never a good way to do drugs, I feel.
Yeah. Like,
you should be responsible, and I'm not.
I don't know if that's true. The reason I bring it up, though, is because I was on, I lived in a foreign country where you could get Vicodin over the counter. No
what country?
Guatemala.
How long were you living in Guatemala?
I was there for 3 years, but for 2 years, I was on taking Vicodin pretty much every day.
What the fuck were you doing in Guatemala?
I was teaching in English.
Okay.
And just running away from comedy. We'll get into that later.
All right.
But the reason I bring it up is because like it's such a like I would be able to pop a pill and feel like synthetic love, acceptance, euphoria, like that euphoria is it's the same kind of like feeling that you get like after a really great workout and a turkey sandwich made by your loving wife and like a hug and that kind of like that's what that is, except it's in a pill and you can just go bump and 5 minutes later you have the thing where you ran 5 miles and you had a turkey sandwich and your wife gave you a blowjob. But you have it in a pill.
So your question, so you're like, if instead of my wife coming in, it was a robot that was like a hot woman and looked and sounded like a woman and gave me that sandwich, I should feel the same way.
I'm just saying, like your synapses in your brain are manipulatable. They're like able to be.
This is
manipulated.
I'll meet you halfway.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm willing to like have a robot do that, but I want a person on the other end talking into a microphone being the voice of the robot.
Yeah,
even
okay.
if it's like
That's
if it's like a fat dude named Earl
fetish.
in a mini mall in Omaha. I want him to be like, "You're the light of my life," and then it comes out in Scarlett Johansson's voice. I'm like, "All right, I'll
funny.
take that. I'll do that."
So it's not the metal. It's not physical sex with like.
I don't want to know
metal,
it's a guy named
metal
Earl.
and silicone.
I'm saying this is the limit. Like that's my boundary. Okay, like it can be that, and I don't know about it. I'll take it.
Good news, bad news. There is a human touch. That's a good news.
Yeah.
Bad news. It's
Earl. Bad news. He looks like the guy we thought was a terrorist at the Atlanta Olympics.
And not only is it Earl in Omaha and he's 52 years old, but the real kicker is that he's doing it to like 20 other people at the same time. So you're not even special to Earl.
In that case, I would feel better.
Okay, that would make you feel better.
That would make me feel better if he was doing it to more people.
Because you're part of a community of Earls.
I mean, I feel like I make too many gay jokes, but I feel like it'd make me feel better because, like, then the gayness of the one-on-one would be spread out over many people, so I'm slightly less. Does that make sense?
It's absolutely, yeah. But I don't think that's gay.
To have a dude whispering into a microphone through the...
But the voice that's coming out is a feminine voice, a female voice.
This is like the Manti Te'o thing.
I don't know what that is.
Manti Te'o, really? That was the guy that had the fake girlfriend?
Oh, yeah.
But it was a guy on the phone just making it sound like a lady?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's gay, but if you know it's a guy and you're like, I'm letting him.
I still don't think it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good for you, man. I feel like you've reached a place with your sexual acceptance that's good. I hope I get there one day.
Yeah,
I mean, when I'm 90, if Liz goes first and I'm alone, I will be obviously making love to robots. So I'm gonna have to get used to this idea.
Yeah.
So I feel like,
yeah, there's a lot of things that I've had to let go, homophobia wise. And I think
it's for the better.
Yeah,
it's for the betterment. A lot of things that have. Did you just throw up in your own? What's going on?
But I think I burped into the thing.
Oh, the people will forgive you.
I'm sorry, people.
What was I going to say just now?
I prefer a male masseuse, and I know.
Well, that's obviously they got stronger hands.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
there's a guy.
They get in there.
His name is Daniel, and I look him up when he's available, and he's a lot available for weeks at a time.
No, I feel the same way. I had a male masseuse in Thailand, and when we were done, we kissed for a little bit, and that was nice. It felt good.
This guy, my boy Daniel, it was my girlfriend's birthday. It was several months ago, so I took her to get a massage. And I got her a massage. I got myself a massage while I was there. They didn't have any female masseuses that day. And I was like, I begrudgingly accepted the male.
Yeah.
And it was this guy named Daniel, and he got in me. Like, he went to places that I thought, holy cow, my hips, I felt like his hand went deep into my hip socket and just was pulling stuff out. So it completely changed my perception of
that's a beautiful
male
thing.
Why would I ever not want
that
the strongest hands possible?
Yeah.
Not that women can have strong hands, but
yeah,
it's pretty great.
No, I think especially for me, I'm not trying to step out on my lady. So it's I would always get a male masseuse. I feel like it's a better massage, and I don't know if I want another the fantasy of it's a hot lady that comes in and she's rubbing you down. I'm I don't want that.
Yeah.
I'm not. I wouldn't do anything if she was if it was every part of the fantasy, and I'd be shutting down the fantasy myself. So I'm not a big tease myself kind of guy. Right? There's something sexual about getting a massage from a woman.
Of course,
if you're a dude.
Of course, we're in the valley, of Los Angeles.
There's a lot of
there's a lot of happy ending places. I've never been to one.
I've never either.
I know I have a lot of friends.
Do you ever get worried that it might be that place? I've had that concern before. I don't get a lot of massages,
so it's not. I don't do it.
Yeah, I've had that concern. I've gotten a massage, and I'm like, I hope it's not that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. I have a lot of friends. I have several friends who do it regularly, and I don't know. More power to them, I guess. But I don't know. I don't think it's like. I don't know. I'm weird with sex anyway, so for me.
What's your weirdness? Catholic?
Nah, I was raised Methodist, but
that's like very religious. Yeah. You were telling me you guys.
It's not like Hellfire and Brim. It's not like Southern Baptist.
Yeah,
but
it's more than Catholic.
No, what do you mean?
It's like on the scale of
like intensity.
Intensity. It's more intense than Catholic. You think it's less intense than Catholic?
Yeah.
Oh. It sounds like it's. I think it's because it's Methodist. I'm thinking of method acting, which is Methodist like the most intense, stupid thing.
No, Methodist is pretty chill.
Okay, but then why are you weird about sex? You should be fucking up a storm. Can I say something?
What?
If you were molested, we don't need to talk about it. I just want to say that. I guess we can if you really want to, but you don't have to talk about it.
I don't think that's why. I do think it has a lot to do with my religious upbringing.
Okay.
And again, even having said like how like Methodist is kind of like chill, it's not. It's. I was like a good boy. Like I had like a very good boy, like upbringing. I was very active in the church and the youth group. I was in the youth choir. Good student. Good like. Devoted athlete, so I had this like image of like never color outside the lines, and sex was part of that too.
Wait till you're married,
a lot of
and then have a bunch of kids.
Yeah, but not a bunch of. We Methodists have two kids.
Okay,
yeah, there's birth control allowed.
That's good.
In It's Protestant.
The Pope, I think, turned around on that a couple years ago.
Well, the condoms.
He was
not
like,
birth control generally, but condoms specifically.
Yeah,
because of AIDS.
Yeah, he was like, wrap it up.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, God just talked to me.
Yeah.
He said you can. Yeah. He's like, oh.
Hold on.
Is that
Does that ever happen?
Am I getting into an air traffic control?
Wait,
no, that's God.
Mid mass. Wait. Well, hold on a second. Yeah. No, I'm not gonna. All right, fine.
Put plastic bags on your cocks so you don't get AIDS from the big guy.
And over the potato salad, and refrigerate it. It's good.
It's very funny.
Wait, hold on.
Have we addressed enough that we're wearing the same shirt? I know we touched on it. It's got to be ridiculous. If somebody's coming into the podcast, it's a video podcast. If somebody is coming in on it, it's bad. Hang on for a second. Wait here. I got to check something. Please, God. All right, we're good.
That you're recording?
No, I'm like worried the battery's going to die. That happened once with Brad Stoll.
Yeah.
Remember Brad?
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Took him out of my phone.
Dead to us now.
Yeah.
You hear that, Brad? He's not listening. You stayed here. I did want to bring this up because
in this house.
In this house,
I was thinking.
You stayed in this house.
That's
you
true.
Watched our dog while we were gone.
Yeah, that's true.
I think I've told the story before on the podcast about you.
Okay,
but I'm going to say it again.
All right.
You did one of the funniest things.
Oh yeah, okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So me and Liz were on a trip. I'm talking to you guys, and we had a dog sitter for the first. Professional dog sitters. Got a website, a Rover page, a real person who takes pride in it. Loves our dog. Gordon's on the front page of her Rover page. And every day we get like text messages and videos of Gordon. It's like Cinco de Mayo. She like puts a hat on him and a little mustache. Like she's just loving on our dog, giving us these constant updates. Halfway through the trip, she has to leave and Ross starts to watch the dog. Fucking radio silence for like 3 days.
No,
nothing.
I don't think 3 days.
No, nothing. We hear not a word. We're like, are they alive? So eventually I text Ross, hey, how's Gordon doing? And within like 10 minutes, I get a photo back of my dog crunched over starting to take a shit with a little bit of poop coming out of his butthole, and the camera had zoomed in on the anus.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That's
I was
true.
like,
That part's true.
I was like, that
I don't
is.
think it took 3 days, but that part's true.
It was very. We laughed so hard because literally the phone was just like amazing photo, like all this stuff, and then 3 days.
Yeah. Well,
that.
Yeah. Well, because my girlfriend had a dog. Unfortunately, I had to put him down a few months ago. But I'm used to. I've never really had dogs, but I'm used to whenever we travel. She has dog sitter, so I'm used to that dog sitter etiquette of sending photos and sending updates to the person whose dog you're sitting.
Yeah,
but I forgot.
I was like, "What is he setting up?"
So, like,
here?
I knew about it. Like, I was like, "Oh yeah, like you send photos of the dog, and that way that people know that your dog's still alive, proof of life type of thing, and that they're not."
Is it the dog with a gun to its head
with a today's newspaper? So it occurred to me that I hadn't sent a photo, and I thought, and so the dog was taking a dump, and I thought, oh, this is. I really did think this out. I thought this is two birds with one stone. It's a proof of life. It's also funny.
It's also very funny.
And I can do it both those in one shot.
I mean, look, dude, it was exactly. I don't think I asked you for any more evidence of his living. I was like, if he dies, he'll tell us.
I cat sat for this couple one time. This elderly couple, and the cat was, I'm pretty sure it was 19 years old. This is when I was living in Guatemala.
Yeah. And
they were an American couple. They were going back home for, I think, it was a while. It was like 2 or 3 weeks. I was in their apartment. And this really scraggly cat. And the old man, I went over a day or two before to get the key and get it shown around. And he takes me into, he goes, come back here. I want to show you something. One more thing about the cat. And he pulls out of the back closet a box, a big shoe box. And he goes, if anything happens to the cat while we're gone, just put it in the shoebox, throw it away. I was free. I was like, oh God, I didn't even think about that until he said that, you know, because it was a very, very old cat. Like I said, 19, like it was not doing well.
How long were they gone?
A while. I want to say at least 2 to 3 weeks. It was a good long while. Yeah.
And that's not like a situation where, like, if you see the cat struggling, you go like, I better get somebody over here to put the cat down. You just go, you're just gonna die of natural causes, and I'm gonna put you in a shoebox. you're gonna die like any other animal would die. And me being here is incidental.
Yeah, yeah.
to you feeling better.
And I don't even I don't remember, but I don't think he told me anything after putting it in the shoebox. Like I don't remember him saying, and then take it to the trash. So I'm wondering if, and I was like stupid, and like I'm wondering if that had happened.
But it's a weird request. It's a weird request because if he doesn't want you to take it to the trash, then you're just putting a dead cat in a shoebox and leaving it to rot. That's weird.
Right.
If he wants you to put it in the trash, why don't you just throw he should just go, hey, if the cat dies, just throw it in the fucking trash.
Yeah. But I think that in my young, drunken way, if, let's say the cat had died 2 days before they got back, I have a feeling I might have just waited and let the cat rot in the box.
Maybe you put it in a freezer bag?
Yes, I think I probably would have done that.
Yeah, like a
Which was probably, I think, the wrong thing to do. But in my own, like, I probably would have done that.
And then, like, you maybe, like, you're putting it in the freezer bag. It doesn't quite fit. So you, like, you panic. You cut its head off and put it in. And you're like, that wasn't right.
I shot the head off.
And then you just throw it away.
Yeah.
And then you go, he's dead.
Yeah.
But the trash hasn't come. They open it up and they see a beheaded cat.
Yeah, he's dead and his body is completely intact. Why would you tell us that part?
Covering the tracks. This was so I didn't. Did you? Two things when you were here.
Yeah.
It seems like you didn't want Gordon sleeping in the bed. Is that fair?
How did you know that? Because
when Liz said, and Gordon sleeps in the bed sometimes, she said the look on your face was like, not when I'm fucking here. She said, Ross, like when you left, she was like, Ross seems great. Seems like Gordon won't be sleeping in the bed when he's here. You apparently had a very clear visual disdain for the idea of the dog sleeping in the bed with you. Is that fair?
That's true. Yeah.
Okay, all right. That was one.
Yeah.
Number two, I would be cool if you fucked in the bed.
Okay.
It's not right. I don't know how to say that.
Are you asking if I did?
I don't care if you did. I truly don't care. If you did, you'd clean the sheets.
Yeah.
But my thought was like, do you tell somebody that?
That it's okay to fuck in the bed?
You go like, hey, so here's the key. Here's the thing. You can fuck in our bed.
Just don't.
You know, here's batteries are under the TV.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's just like a thing I would say while giving somebody the tour. But I didn't say it.
Yeah.
But I just now, if you ever come back, I feel like you know.
All right. Well, those are two issues. So the dog in the bed is the first issue.
What if you're like, they're actually one issue? I'd be like, get the fuck out of here! Gordon leaves on that note. Hey, buddy.
And you're on a peanut butter too. So,
Yeah.
the first couple nights I slept on the couch.
Really?
Yeah. Because he clearly was like,
he's like,
oh, it's bedtime, right? So
yeah, dude, that's so funny.
And then so I slept on the couch, which was fine because I was like, I knew I knew that he probably was missing you guys, so I was like, he'll sleep in the bed. And then how many nights was I here? Probably 4 or 5,
something like that.
And then I think the third night he slept in the bathroom, and then the last couple of nights he slept in the bed.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did it go?
I couldn't just like I don't know. Fine.
How did it go with him in the bed? Did he take up too much space?
He wiggles, and that's why I don't like. Because my girlfriend's dog used to wiggle a lot, and when I'm not there, her dog's in the bed. When I am there, the dog's on the ground.
Yeah,
and because of the wiggling, and we're dog sitting a dog right now. And last night, 2 nights ago, dog got in bed, middle of the night, and it's the cutest dog. It looks exactly like Gordon, just skinnier and femaler. And I had to pick her up and put her down on the ground. And then last night she did it again, 3 a.m., and I just left it. I was like,
yeah.
I think I'm just...
Was she trying to cuddle?
Yeah, she's a pit bull. They love
love.
But not actually, no, she was cool. She was just like trying to just be
still.
Still.
Like he won't notice. Yeah, he like comes and puts his fucking head here and goes like as loud as he can fucking do it. It's his bed. Whatever. Both are okay. It's okay that he didn't sleep in the bed a couple nights, or at least in the bathtub. Yeah. And if you did fuck in there, I don't care.
I didn't fuck in there.
Okay. Well, next time, be my guest.
I don't think I've ever, I don't know.
Fucked in somebody else's bed?
I don't think so.
Oh, my God. I relish the opportunities.
Really?
Not really, but I have fucked in other people's beds.
I don't think I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, one time I remember, yeah.
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 I mean, you come good.
Why?
Because you're in somebody else's bed. Feels better. Feels a little wrong. It's more fun.
Yeah. See, that's another thing. I'm weird about sex. Like, I don't have a lot of, like...
Exhibitionists.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, that's cool. Like, I don't think everybody's got to be into that stuff. It's just
fucking at other people's beds.
Fucking at other people's beds.
You guys should fucking other people's beds.
I do think there's a thing with Catholics where it's like we get a little freaky deaky with that stuff because it's like it's so forbidden. It's like it's so like it's an example for parenthood. If you don't want your kids to do something, don't be fucking chodes about it. You don't want your kids to binge drink. Be like, have some wine at dinner. Have a little bit here. Right. You know, like you don't make it this big taboo thing because it's like sex is already innately feels like it could be a taboo thing. Right. If you were never influenced by any religious thing ever, there would still be people who are embarrassed after they have sex or don't want to be seen naked. Like that's like a human thing. Right. So to pile onto that like the Catholics do, I mean, you're just 7/10 of the GIMP costumes sold in the world go to Catholics. To
scratch that forbidden,
just the forbidden itch.
Yeah,
it's that's.
So you were raised pretty hardcore Catholic.
I wasn't like hardcore Catholic, but I was Catholic.
Altar boy.
Altar boy, yeah. Lectern.
Yeah.
I was a lectern, so I would carry the book in.
And you had to read?
And then, like, when I would do it, I'd be like, sometimes there were, like, girls from my Catholic school that were in the church. I'm like, oh, they're going to fucking see this. I would, like, flex my arms a little bit when I was doing it. Like, you see this, baby? Lift high the cross. Like, I was fucking, there's a little bit of power. Be like a reading from the book of Leviticus. Baby.
Well, that's better than what I did. I was a liturgical dancer.
What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does that
It's
mean?
awful. It was my senior year in high school because I was real active in, like I said, a youth group and stuff, and youth choir. And then I was real good friends with the organist, Dorcas. Her name was Dorcas, and she.
I know a Dorcas.
You know Dorcas?
British? Is that a British name?
Probably.
Okay, because the lady I know is British.
And somehow she got in her head. I loved her because I knew her forever, and she wanted to have me and my best friend Bobby do these liturgical dancing, which is like somebody sings a song about Jesus on the cross, and then the two we like act it out. So Jesus is up on the cross. So one of either me or Bobby, with our back to the congregation, does the sign of the cross, and then the other one with our front to the congregation, like, does the actual Christ on the cross, or the Roman soldier like beat, and it's all like put to music.
Is it like did they do it to Jesus Christ Superstar? Because that's what we did, a passion play when I was a kid.
Okay,
and I was one of the. I'm hijacking your story. Finish your story.
Well, it wasn't like a performance one time thing. Like we would do it regularly, just as part of the Sunday worship service.
Oh wow, you were just one of the acts.
We just part of the thing. Yeah.
Did you like perfect the act as you would? Did you find like, ooh, if I do like a guttural?
Well, each song. It wasn't every single Sunday, but maybe once a month or twice a month, we would do a new song, and then we would somebody would choreograph the thing, and we were doing it out of like obligation to like the older ladies in the church, just because they thought we were cute and we had grown up in the church. But I was a jock, and so was Bobby. Like we were big, football players and baseball players, and one of my football coaches, our offensive coordinator, who we just all just had such reverence but also fear of, was a member of the church. Yeah. And so Sunday morning, he's sitting there watching us, and I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing?
You're like, this is what we play for.
Coach Ritterman thinks I'm such a chode. And I don't know. Friday night we were bashing our heads in it, and the Sunday morning I'm like, it wasn't like dancing like
no, but
ballerina,
it's choreographed, choreographed movement to song.
Yes.
Yeah, that's dancing.
Right.
I'm pretty sure if we Google dancing, it'll say
it's not like twinkle toe dancing. It would be like the Roman soldier, like
bro. I have to tell you something right now. I'm really sorry to say this. That's dancing. We were beating
each other up.
No, I'm sure
rhythmically.
I'm sure they did that in West Side Story too. It's still fucking dancing, bro.
It was hard. We were hard. It was pretty tough.
I like watching you try to sprinkle some man magic on this, but that was fucking dancing.
I'm sweating now.
We used to do a passion play, and I was the guy that nailed Jesus to the cross. And that was like I would go like dramatically raise my hand, and then I would hit the empty stage, but it would echo through the church. And that always felt, I'd get a little fucking chub. Yeah. There is a power to it. Yeah. Yeah. And I remember we did Stations of the Cross as well. One time I was in Our Lady of Guadalupe. Remember that one?
I mean, I know the image.
Yeah, I was the guy that like opened up and the roses fell out.
Oh, like in American
Beauty? My mom loves that.
Beauty?
Kind of like American Beauty, but like out of my gut. Okay. No, it's like a story in the Bible where I can't remember the guy's name, but he opens up his cloak and roses fall out.
Okay.
And it's like a miracle.
Huh. my first time in any sort of theatrical play was one of these musicals that designed for youth groups. Jeez, it was
Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
It was like specific. I remember it was called. It was like all these songs from the 50s, but the words were changed to be Jesus words, like "Let's go to the rock, boom, boom, boom. Let's go to the rock, boom, boom, boom. Jesus is the rock, boom." That's a song. That's an actual like secular song. Oh, it's "Let's go to the hop." Let's go to. The hop.
Oh god, yeah.
So all these songs like that, like these like classic 50s songs. And my line, and there was a musical, and my line was because I think the setup was it's these kids putting. I think it was like a play within a play. It was like they're putting on a production.
Yeah.
So I had one line. It was to come out. I played the stagehand. That was like my character. So I come out and I like pretend like the stage lights are in my eyes, and I go, "Nice job with the lights, Dwayne." And he goes, "Thanks, Sean," or something. And I was so nervous. I practiced it over and over. "Nice job with the lights, Dwayne. Nice job with the light." And nobody ever, it was never like actually pretend like there's a man named Dwayne over there, or pretend like you're actually part of this. It was just get the lines out. So it probably just looked like "Nice job with the lights, Dwayne," and then off,
Yeah.
And I think about that a lot. I thought about like I never thought about the character ever. I just was like, just say those words. Just say those words.
It's so funny because I have like a very similar memory from when I was in college. I did this. I was in a sketch group for like 3 months, and I'd never like really been like in a sketch in front of people before. Like I had done like that passion play, like little. I'd never really acted, and I was in a sketch that was like a Fanta soda sketch, and I had the first line. It was the first sketch of the show. I had the first line, and I was supposed to say, "Do you want a Fanta?" And I did the same thing. I was like, it's like my only line really is like, "Do you want a Fanta?" Like, just don't fuck that up. If I say that, then they come out and start singing, and then that starts the whole show. And like, I just will never forget, like the lights came up, and it's like you could kind of see people out there, maybe like 100 people in the crowd for this sketch show. And I completely forgot the line. "Do you want a Fanta?" And I think I probably like we're sitting on the couch and she's waiting for me to say it. And I'm just like,
It's a man in a Fanta costume.
Like, they're behind the couch. Like when I say, "Do you want a Fanta?" These Fanta girls were supposed to appear behind. So they're just crouched waiting for me to do it.
How about a Pepsi? Shit.
And I think I go like, I don't remember what I said, but if I said something and they started dancing. So I think I might have blurted out "Fanta," and then they came out. But after that was really, if I'm honest, the only time I ever remember having like bad stage fright.
Really?
Yeah, I don't get nervous on stage now. I've done a lot of performing since then, but that was hard. Like that was hard to get. I remember after the show I was beating myself up. My girlfriend at the time was in the cast too, and she was like, "It was fine. It was fine. We didn't even notice it backstage." And I was like, "You're fucking being nice to me right now." It was like 20 seconds, but it was terror.
Yeah.
It was terror to do that, to face that.
Well, I'm surprised that, I struggle with stage fright to this day.
Yeah, you've told me that. I really don't have it.
Yeah.
No, I get excited. I like going up. I have other things I deal with performance-wise, but like stage fright is not one of them.
Huh. I'll go home. I'll see friends and family from like back in Texas, and I hear it all the time. They go, "I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you get on the stage, and I don't know how you're not afraid." And I'm like, "What the fuck are you?" I am afraid. I'm always afraid.
There's two things that people ask when they go, "I don't know how you get up there," and then they go, "How are you dealing with this cancel culture stuff?" And I'm like, "What's going to get canceled? My podcast? The Burbank Comedy Festival? Like what's getting taken away from me right now? Yeah. I have nothing. Yeah. Like I'm dealing with it okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But those are like
I just can't say anything anymore, can you? I just probably can't say anything. It's probably real tough on you guys as comics. Yeah.
It's like, no, just you can say whatever you want, just the audience doesn't laugh.
Yeah.
And if you go anywhere else besides LA, they do laugh.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Right.
If you're really that worried about it, you can just drive to Calabasas and have yourself a nice set.
Yeah. Do you feel? I don't feel like
you want to put that microphone maybe in front of your. What are you doing?
I don't feel. I'm way more afraid of like. There's so many more concerns that I have over. Oh God, I'm gonna get in trouble
saying the
for
wrong
saying
thing.
something.
Yeah, my fears are much more tied to like it not working out, quitting, like moving back home, like applying myself, like doing the right things with the podcast. Like that's my anxiety. Like the idea that I would step on stage and someone would go like, that joke was a little off color. I'd be like, well, go fuck yourself.
Yes.
That's my honest feeling. Yeah. I'm not going to, and I'm also like, I'm not pretending like, I remember like I started my podcast during COVID and like there would be jokes I would say. I'd be like, well, maybe I should cut that out. Like I sound like I never have concerns about that stuff, but it's like, a concern mixed in with many other concerns, most of which were much greater and about my own fucking life. And not like this external thing of like, oh, I need to like protect it's like, what have I, all I've really built is my ability to be funny. And I don't want to, whatever negative effects you would have from speaking your mind is like worth it.
Yeah.
Versus like for me having to like pretend to think you think something you don't or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I get why somebody who doesn't do comedy would be fucking
I guess for me
mystified by it.
I just have always been so focused on just what's funny. I obviously just want to make jokes and make people laugh. So I just like I don't understand why like if you're frustrated because this thing that you're saying is upsetting people. Is it that hard to just not say it?
I think, I mean, this is what it is like, I still say stuff that upsets people because that's like what that's how I figured out how to be funny is to say what I really think. And then I'm very good in the moment of like addressing when an audience pulls back and knowing when it's me that's gone too far or if they're just being whatever. Yeah. And my concern is not I'm going to get in trouble. It's that I'm going to get a reputation as the guy that yells at the audience all the time.
Right.
I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
And sometimes I'm on shows and I watch somebody go up and just calmly do a mediocre set and never get mad at the audience for anything. And I'm like, I wish I could do that. But I tell one joke and they just give me a golf clap. I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? I fucking drove here, you piece of shit.
I get out. I see people. I don't know how they do it, but they get through an entire set without fucking yelling at the audience. I don't know how they do it. But I've seen it.
I'm telling you, it's like a real thought for me where I'm like, don't yell at them. Like especially if I'm watching other comics going up who I know are funny and they're bombing. Obviously, that's very fun to watch funny comics bomb. Yeah. But I'm just like, I'm going to yell at them. Yeah. I'd rather do that than just go up there and lose confidence in my jokes that I know are funny because they think they're watching fucking Netflix.
Yeah.
But that is like my own thing in my head of like, I'm going too far. I'm going to get a bad reputation. This club's not going to book me again. Yeah. That kind of stuff. And I think it's always way worse in my head than it is in real life. Like I'll record my sets and I'm going home like, oh God, this is going to be a fucking nightmare to listen to. I told that dude to cut off his own cock and feed it to his brother. Oh my God. And then I like listen to it and people are laughing.
No, I know.
And I'm like, oh, it's fine. Yeah. I just have a thing in my head where it's.
Yeah, it goes the other way too. The listening to the recording is for me is such a great middle. Like, if I thought it went really great and I'm like super conceited now, listening to the tape, it wasn't as great as you thought. Same thing. If I thought I fucking ate shit, listen to the tape.
It's worse.
I do eat shit, but that's because I like the taste. But yeah, it's like listening to tape is always if you're too high or too low, it'll get you in the middle.
Yeah, for sure. Is he back in? Oh, sorry. We're at an hour, man. That's the show.
Okay.
Do you got anything coming up? Anything you're doing?
Check
shows?
out my Instagram feed and TikTok and Twitter X.
Is it called? What is it called? Twitter X or is it just called X now?
I think it's X.
It's called X.
Yeah. Ross Copeland 11. Ross Copeland 11. I put a number in there.
Yeah. Are you posting? Are you going content heavy on the social?
I'm about to.
You're about to.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm like making a bunch of stuff.
That's great.
And I'm putting it into a bank so that I can have enough to like release at a
steady stream. Yeah.
And I have a close buddy who's like who's kind of like my accountability buddy, and he doesn't like that idea because he thinks it's like it's like a procrastination thing.
Yeah, he's right.
No, I think I'm doing it right.
No, you're not.
I got stuff in the bank. I got quite a bank.
So this is the terrible reality that we live in.
Yeah.
You're going to be making content every day. If you're day you're a comedian, you're thinking about, what did I post? And I know the fantasy is you're like, I have 3 months. I have 3 months of comedy. I'm going to release it on Monday, Wednesday. And what's going to happen is you're going to get a month into that and you're going to be like, I need more shit. This stuff isn't hitting. And then the whole thing that is popular is going to change. And you're going to be like, well, I have 2 months of stuff that nobody likes. Like, because I needed it. I'm not leaving myself room to call audibles, I guess. The real thing you have to do is be like, I'm going to post a video once a week to start. It's going to be a stand-up video or a clip of the podcast that we just did. Yeah. And then you slowly build up. And you're like, okay, now I'm going to commit myself to 2 times a week. It's not to try to backlog a year's worth of fucking Insta Reels.
That's what I was saying.
You just need to release what you have.
Okay.
Just do it once a week and make some new shit and mix it in. That's the real thing to do.
All right.
Yeah.
And you've helped me out already with some of that. Some of the websites or the website you showed me.
Capling.
Can I say it? Yeah.
Yeah, Capling's good. The
podcast
sponsored by Capling.
Sponsored by Capling.
Also, the movie Her.
I've been using the AI in Capling.
AI is good in Capling.
In Capling.
I know. You told me about it.
Yeah, but I don't think
you use it more than I use it.
I don't think you've used it yet.
I use it for the auto subtitles.
Yeah, there's so much more.
Yeah, you probably want it to fucking jerk you off, but I don't think that's right. Thanks for coming on the show. It's good to have you. Next time you come, maybe we color coordinate the fucking shirt and pants so we don't look like.
Also brought to you by Target.
Yeah,
good fellas. Or
we look like my mom set us up for a family photo, like
Easter Sunday.
Yeah,
wear something pastel. Yeah.
All right, bro. This was fun.